Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of Marek Connell English. Today I'm going to be talking about leisure. So, leisure is a very important part of people's lives. It's the way that they enjoy their free time. And I think it's very important to find a balance between your work life and your leisure time. So, things that people generally do for their leisure time is going out to drink, going out to clubs or parties, doing exercise, learning something. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the things that I do in my leisure time. So I'm very much into fitness at the moment. I love going to the gym. I have huge motivation for going to the gym nowadays. I only really have time to go 3 times a week, but I wish I had time to go more often. And I love going swimming on the beach. I've got a wetsuit that I put on because we're just going through the transition from winter to spring to summer. Well, I don't really know when exactly the seasons change, but it's getting hotter basically. And I've been wearing my wetsuit when I've been going swimming recently. I like to swim on the beach. I try and get an hour swim in at least once a week. So, I've got huge motivation for fitness, and that takes up a lot of my free time. But also, I'm learning piano at the moment, and I love learning piano. I've been doing it on my own for the last 10 years, but this year I've decided that I want to be classically trained. I want to be a classically trained pianist in 10 years' time, and I'm going to start learning. I've got a lady that I used to do an exchange with, and I'm going to return to that and start learning piano seriously. I like to go to the cinema from time to time. Haven't been in a very long time because more often than not, I download films and watch them at home on my nice TV. Going out is also something that I've been doing a lot of now. I've been single for the last 6 months, so I've really started to kind of come out of my shell in comparison to maybe the way I was before. And I'm going out 3-4 times a week and meeting new people, drinking a lot of white wine. I love white wine. And I've become a bit of a party animal. There's a big club here called Mia and Umbracle, and on Fridays you can get in for free if you get there before 12, because there's like a language exchange there. And then afterwards it's €16. So really it's a no-brainer. I go there like 11 and stay around for the language exchange part, and then after that they've got some great R&B and hip hop and electronic music going on, which is great because I don't really like the music. The music scene in Valencia it doesn't really have its finger on the pulse, but this club is pretty good. Some things that I used to do with my leisure time are, I used to go boxing 2 times a week, but I stopped that because I started to have problems with my back. Road trips are a great way to spend your leisure time as well. There are a lot of mountains around Valencia, and it's really nice to get away for a day and do some hiking or some trekking. It's the same thing, just different words. And camping is something I love doing. I have done a lot of cycling trips around Spain, around Europe, and for me, those are things that really cleanse your mind and your soul. I did the Camino de Santiago's Way, a few years ago, and it was an incredible experience. You come back and you feel like Buddha for a few months, and then it slowly kind of wears off and you return to your normal state, and then you need another holiday, it can be a long trip or it can be a quick getaway somewhere. At the moment I'm itching to go somewhere for the weekend. I'm doing a music production course on Saturdays, so that kind of eats into my weekend, so I don't have a lot of time on the weekends now. But once that's finished, or maybe immediately after one Saturday, I might go away for 2 days or something to some other country. There is a fantastic website called Google Flights. Everybody's heard of Google, obviously, but Google Flights lets you look at all the cheapest prices for the year, and you can kind of see it in a matrix, and you can quickly see when the cheapest time to go is. And I think that's a really fantastic tool if you're booking flights. Traveling is something that everybody loves to do. It broadens your horizons. It gives you the opportunity to discover new cultures and meet new people and make new friends. Notice the verbs there. Those verbs go with those nouns. I think it's a really good opportunity to make yourself a more interesting person. There are obviously other leisure activities like watching TV and watching TV series. I'm not really into watching TV series. You know, I prefer to watch a film, get it over and done with in 2 hours, and you know, you've got the whole story. I don't really like the idea of watching 50 hours plus of a TV series. A TV series, there's always an S with series, to understand the story. You know, I think it's too much time, too much effort, so I'm not really into watching TV series. And TV in general, you know, I think there's so much nonsense on TV. It's funny because I've had a TV for 4 months, and I literally have probably watched an hour of TV in those few months. If I use my TV, it's only really to connect my laptop to it and use it as a second screen. So that's not really my favourite form of leisure, watching TV. I generally like to be out there, you know, partying. Salsa and bachata are also things that I've gotten into in the last few months, and well, almost a year now. I was doing salsa classes at an academy, and I've been having private classes with a guy that I do a language exchange with. I teach him English, he teaches me salsa. He's learning Lindy Hop at the moment, and I've asked him to kind of teach me the basics of that as well. And yeah, that's a lot of fun as well. Salsa is a nice vibe. My salsa's really good. My bachata's not really that good. I'm not really into it. So when I go out, I generally am very enthusiastic to dance salsa, but when the bachata songs come on, I just kind of stand there unless somebody asks me to dance. Okay, so that's a brief talk about leisure activities. I hope that has given you some ideas of things that you can talk about. And let me know in the comments below what you think of the video and if it's been helpful. If there's any constructive criticism that you'd like to give me, please feel free to do so. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Good luck with your exams.